Alrighty, I promise audio will get better throughout the series, but this is our first step. So I already drilled the hole all the way for my coolant passage. This is the turbo, I'm going to say feed for the coolant. And so right now I'm going ahead and tapping it. This hasn't actually been what's been taking forever. And while I'm in here, I'm actually going to rethread, and rethread because they're all the same. I do have the package around here for what that is, which is now gone. Just had it. Here it is. That size is 3/8 NTP, I'm pretty sure. MPT. The other half of the label ripped off. But, so I'm going to go ahead, finish tapping this, and rethread all that. And, so the thing that's been holding this all up is my bed plate. Machine shop. No machine shop, for some reason, wants to grind down my ovals on my bed plates, which I actually have one sitting over there that I can show you what it is, for crank straps. So either A, I'm going to get direct bolt on, or B, I'm going to grind them down myself because this is getting ridiculous. It's been at a machine shop. It's going on 3 years. I called around for multiple machine shops. Nobody wants to do the work. So I'm going to do it myself. And same thing with the engine. I called 3 engine builders, actually technically 4, and all of them, it's like, yeah, drop it off. And then, it comes down to it, and they're like, I don't, we're not taking on anymore. It's like, I can't win. So let me go ahead, finish tapping this, and then we continue on. To note, the reason why I have to tap this is because this is a NA block. Now, turbo versions of this block, this is already tapped, as well as this part right here for the drain. But I actually have my own 10AN drain that goes right into the oil pan, which is an upgrade, so you don't have oil stagnant in the turbo. So rather than doing this as well, I'm just going to leave it because I have the better upgrade right now anyway. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 threads showing. Gonna take this out and see how deep that is. Take a look in there. All right. Looks good. Would I like to get this down in there more? Yeah. This should actually screw all the way on. Screws on quite a bit, so I'm probably not going to make a big deal out of it. When I like it to be on, so I might be hitting the wall of the cylinder. And then I'm just going to run this through all the other ones. This is my oil. This is where I'm going to take the pressure from. This is the factory pressure location. This one over here is the oil feed for the turbo. Doesn't matter where you pour it from. It's actually all the same channel. So we're just going to run this through here. Don't worry, I got to clean the block anyway, so. That should do it. Now let's just get this last coolant. So this is the coolant. This is getting blocked off this year. This is for the coolant for the oil cooler, which I do not have in my car. So I don't quite understand it. They tap out this over here when the NA doesn't get the coolant for the oil cooler, but they don't tap out this one over here, which is strange because there is no oil cooler on an NA. All right, that's looking better. Yep, just got to blow it out. Now all these should fit in like butter. Basically, I just like to do a little bit of high temp gasket maker around it, just so it doesn't leak. They do make thread sealer, which is another product, but gasket maker has been working out for me. Nothing wrong with either method. I mean, I'm sure there's a proper way, but this is kind of just a backyard kind of motor. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I am building the motor, sadly. I mean, not sadly. I actually just recently built one of these, and it's still running. So that is a 450 horsepower build. Mine's going to be a little bit more, but theoretically, if it supports 450 with the bearings and everything, then you should be able to support what the pistons and rods can take. So the skill is there, just the confidence isn't. All right, so I'm just going to block this really quick. I'm not even using a block. I just want to get this old fine layer gasket off. We do have to hone as well. These aren't terrible cylinder walls, but we're going to hone this, all 4 cylinders as well in this video. I'm just using WD-40 as my lubricant. Get those cylinder walls lubricated too, because I will be doing that next. And I just got 400 grit here. Like I said, I just want to take off the old gasket, a very minor on here. It's actually a very clean block. Now, some people are going to mention about you shouldn't be taking off the old gasket that way. I use 400 grit. It's not taking off that much material on a steel block. So that's my thoughts. Plus, like I said, this engine doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to get by for the most part. But there's no reason to deck the block. You can actually still see the machine marks from the original machining of the block. So, like I said, there's very minimum material that is being taken off with 400 grit on a steel block. Still a couple of sections I want to get here. We got section up here. There's a section here, section here. All right. It's time to find my home, which is somewhere in the basement, because I wasn't expecting getting this so soon. So I'm just going to get these cobwebs out of here. There's some wood in here because of other projects. Behind me, you can probably slightly see it. It's going to be the, what is that thing called? The boat center console. That's getting done in the spring once the weather warms up again. Still have to clean this block really good. Like I said, it's all going to get done, just going to be in phases. So this motor building is going to be a little bit different. We're going to do actually parts of it, just because there's going to be so much time in between each step that it's going to be easier for editing, and plus I can get some content out there. Block's got to get cleaned really good, inside and out. So I decided to wear a trash bag because last time it got all over me. I'm going to use WD-40 as my lubricant. Some people like to use motor oil, but most of the engines that I've done, I just use WD-40. Spray this all around our cylinder walls real quick. Alright, so we're going to be on low speed for this. We're going to do about 20 passes. I'm going to check on it in like 2. I just want to make sure my speed's fine and my pace is good. So we're going to slide this one in there. Alright, so basically we just go up and down with it, straight. Alright, now I want to see the angle of that, so we're going to grab Come on, battery. I need one more out of you. Garbage bag off. And basically all this is to do is to get the cylinder new rings, the piston new rings, to basically bed in. We're a little bit over my crosshatch of what I want. But it should still work for the purpose of what it's going to do. If we want a little bit slower, and grab it with the battery. It's a little bit more than what I want, so I'm going to go a little bit slower. That looks more like it. So this has to get cleaned very good now because there is metal in the cylinders. So still got to get cleaned, but for now I'm just going to clean it enough so I can show you guys what the result of doing this is. Alright, so that is the purpose of cross hatching is what people call it. Maybe if I can get the light in there a little bit more, show you. So that is a nice clean crosshatch, ready to bed in some rings. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it off today. I'm going to do some work on my own with the block. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my rings filed down so they fit in there perfectly, build the pistons, and because they're already on the connecting rods, and it's probably where I'm going to let it go for a little bit. I got to pick up my bed plate from the machine shop that doesn't want to do it, apparently, I guess. And then I'm going to get that, and then I can get plexi gauge to figure out clearances from my connecting rods, and then the main bearings as well. So that is the plan.